Hey guys, in this video I just want to go through my very first impressions getting the D-Flow Parawing. I haven't ridden it on the water yet. I've literally just gotten it out of the bag and taken it down to the beach and sort of had to practice flying it. And I just wanted to give you my first impressions on the quality, the build, and how hard it is to fly. I gave it to my wife to give her a go. So I just want to tell you also my expectations about what I want to get out of Parawinging and what I think it'll do for a lot of people. As soon as I got it, I took it down to the beach with my kids and my wife and just had to play. It was only like 10 or 12 knots, so it was struggling to stay in the air. But nonetheless, I got to fly it a little bit and experience what it feels like. And I was immediately impressed by how balanced it was when there was actually wind. And you can very much easily fly it one-handed. And it seems that what you do is because the bar obviously sits sort of laterally to your body, is you tilt it forwards to bring the Parawing to the front. I'm thinking in class 7 terms, so you tilt it forwards and it brings it to the front of the wind window, and you tilt it back and it will drop to the back of the wind window. And then to turn it, you actually twist it, which will turn the front lines, and then it will go left and right. So I think it'll be much better behaved, obviously when there is some wind. This is not a windy day whatsoever, and I'm really excited to see. But I was surprised when there was probably a couple of times there was 13 or 14, 15 knot gust, and how much power a 4.2 had. And it'll be interesting to see how that feels with a board on a foil on the water, because everything's always different on the beach. That was my sort of first impressions from the beach. So let's dive in and let's start with what I'm expecting to get out of having a Parawing. So there's some sets of conditions that we get on the Sunshine Coast where we can't downwind. It's too onshore is probably the most common scenario, and there's not much you can do. You can go winging and you can cut up wind and you can downwind, but one of the biggest drawbacks to downwinding with a wing is how much it affects the angles that you can take. Downwinding with a normal wing is exceptionally hard, and you can't go fast and you can't turn that hard. And I think it's pretty ineffective. What I end up doing if I do downwind with a wing is I just hold it above my head on the front handle. I don't like doing that, and your arm goes dead after long runs. So for me, the Parawing, one of the biggest things that I'm hoping is that I'll be able to utilize the bumps more effectively and in a more fun way by having something that I can pack down or at least just hold in my hands. Hello. So there are onshore conditions that you can downwind in, but it's not that fun, because what you have to do is, because of the angle, you have to just cut across the bumps the whole time. So it's a great workout, but you don't actually get to surf the bumps. The way you get to surf bumps is most of the time is when they're going the direction that you want to head. So in this scenario, what you can do with the Parawing fixes this problem, because you actually get to surf the bumps. What you do is, obviously if you were supping, you have to paddle out, and whatever angle, however far you paddle out, is the angle you get. And down you go, and you just have to use the bumps and cut across. Whereas with a Parawing, you could, I don't know if you can see that, you could Parawing out kilometers, like 15 kilometers if you wanted. That would then mean that you still do a car shuffle, but your downwind run will be with the bumps. So imagine you're all the way out here. So imagine you're all the way out here. Say this is 20 kilometers out. This now means you have at least 20 kilometers, if not more, of downwind bumps that you can surf to your heart's content. And that's the thing I'm the most excited about. It'll make conditions that wouldn't actually be surfy bumps because you have to cut constantly become surfy bumps. The other scenario is there are some points that we go off that it's quite a long paddle to get out to the wind line. So it is windy, but you've still got to paddle out a long way before you can get going. And what you'll be able to do is I suppose Parawing out to where you want to start to, which will just save you time, and it reduces the less fun part of downwinding, which is something that I'm very passionate about. And I've sort of mentioned this, but the main thing is really that it's going to allow the downwinding to be so much more fun. When you are not carrying a wing with you, and you'll just have the Parawing, which I'm imagining won't create any real problems or drag once you get used to it, is that you'll actually be able to downwind properly, be able to cut the lines and the angles that you like to. Whereas when you have a wing, you're just so restricted in what you can do, and you're constantly worrying about what's the wing doing. The downsides I'm expecting will just be I think the learning curve is going to be a little bit, I'm expecting that it's going to be some tricky sessions. I've been watching 4Routes videos and it seems that it is another skill. It's just another skill that you have to learn. The other thing would be not having a paddle can stop you from being able to downwind as well as you might or as fast as you might, and you can't up and over as easy. I experienced that recently on my 4-wheel drive race, is that you actually pump a lot more. But the thing that I'm really the most excited about is that I'll be able to run surfier foils and a shorter board to surf more. I love surfing in downwind bumps. It's the most fun thing about downwinding for me. So that's the thing that I'm hoping it'll optimize that experience. So you'll be able to cut up into an ideal angle to be able to follow the bumps in rather than having to cut the whole time, and then you can just surf the whole way. So that's the thing I'm the most excited about, and I'm really looking forward to sharing those sessions once they happen. I haven't even, I've had the wing for 8 hours. So gear wise, what I'm gonna start with is my 7.4 Cypher. I reckon that'll become my Parawing board. It's long enough that I think it'll be able to get up with, because you can't really pump a Parawing that much compared to a wing. So you need a bigger board. So my 110 litre 7.4 Cypher is like the perfect Parawing board in my mind. But I don't know that for sure, but from what I've been chatting with people. And then I'm gonna start on the 1540S, just the biggest foil I can put on while I learn the technique. And then the idea is that I'm so hoping that I'll be able to get to the point where I can use the 980S to get up quite easily. That's the goal, because that's my favorite combo. 7.4 Cypher, 980S, 150 AR, downwinding, like actual not having to cut and being able to just surf down the bumps. It's the most fun combo I could possibly ask for. In the next sort of 2-3 weeks, I'm gonna try and put together a video of my thoughts and experiences learning to Parawing. I know how to downwind. Learning to Parawing, hopefully some advice that I can pass on, and sort of what gear that I end up running, because I'm not sure if people end up on 6-foot boards or end up on sort of 7-foot boards or 8-foot boards, and it looks like people use a combination of all three depending on the conditions. So that's it for this video. Let me know if you've got a Parawing on the way. Like and subscribe, please subscribe. If you're not subscribed, please consider, and we'll see you in the next video.